Wow. Welcome to Targeted, the show where we expose masculinity and success. And I'm your host, Atlas Altman, former military commander, director of special operations communications, and just all-around good guy. We are not a dying breed. We have a lot of ground to cover, from strength to writing to inner focus. You have what it takes, and I'm about to bring it out through the stories of the people that have already done it. Welcome. This is Targeted. We are back with Antonio Diaz in World War Studio. He is a pro bodybuilder, a mental health advocate. He coaches people into life successes. The man is just a masterpiece of Christianity and awesome. In the past episodes, the last two episodes, we've talked about his marriage, his pro bodybuilding career, his ways and thoughts, and how he actually grew up. So there's a lot to get out of there. If you like this kind of content about men who've made it through and to massive successes, like, subscribe, share this episode, and let's stay tuned on this show. Let's get back to Targeted with Antonio Diaz. Enjoy.
Remember, what people don't understand, I started bodybuilding when I was 30, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty late,
That's
right?
late.
But my body's young. So my third show got with a new coach, and they were all OCB, natural. So they hired a guy. And listen, I'm scared to death because I didn't know much about steroids, right? And I'm like, I don't need it. I'm a good athlete. It's like, you're missing the concept. It's this. We're not telling you to take this to cheat this. We're telling you to take this. So if you're running track, you all got blocks, you at least have a chance. And they said, Phil Heath, you know what Phil Heath is? Of course, right? He said, yeah, he doesn't really do, if you're disciplined and you have self-control, right? And I don't have an addictive personality. Listen, TRT was a difference.
Yeah.
And that's only in the bodybuilding world.
Yeah.
Because in the regular world, TRT is to help you decide. Well, this was like, listen, it helps you. Man, when I tell you, I was like seeing it in another space.
Yeah.
Never got sore. So when I did a little bit, turned pro. But it wasn't the steroid that did it. Because with the misconception of steroids is this: oh, I'm gonna get big muscles. No, just for the record, I want everybody to know this: steroids help you recover.
That's it.
It doesn't build muscle. You build the muscle.
You still have to do the work.
That's why there's 90% of guys in the gym today. There's a lot of guys in the gym today that are running cycles more than open guys in pro. And they don't look like anything. Yeah. Because it doesn't work that way.
You still have to do the work.
Do you know what the biggest steroid is? The food. And you have to do the work.
Yes.
That's what I've learned. So that's why all year round, no matter when you see me, I look like I'm in shape. Why? Don't take Listen, man, I got 4 kids. Yeah. Nobody's out here running. No. Because my family's way more important than me trying to prove a point of muscle. I work out. I'm a bodybuilder because I work out. I don't work out because I'm a bodybuilder. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? Like, I do this, so why not get paid? I got sponsors and I'm good, right? I'm going to Olympia someday, soon. You know what I mean? And, after that point,
let's talk about that. Like, what's your plan for Olympia?
So my plan is, my goal is to, there's not a goal, we're going to do it, is to go to Olympia to get the experience. And see if I really have the passion to say, now I want to be top 3. Now I want to be number 1. Yeah. But at the risk of what those guys are doing, I can't. However,
Ronnie Coleman, man.
Here's the thing. And Ronnie's genetics were beyond. Listen, Ronnie was the only person on that stage in like 92 that wasn't on gear.
Yeah.
People didn't know that.
No, he wasn't. Well, I think he did later.
Oh, no, 98, 97.
Yeah.
But it was over. He won 8 times in a row.
Yeah, he was legit a hard worker.
Oh, my, respect work.
He was a cop, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he was getting tested like everyone else.
Yeah.
And so you can't be a cop and a pro bodybuilder and look like that unless you're putting in the work.
I'm talking working a regular job and then putting in. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but he put his body. This is the hard thing for bodybuilders.
Yeah.
The food, definitely.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped. I'm like, man,
that food.
I love food.
Yeah.
And so that's why I stopped doing it. But that's the one thing. The hard thing is whenever you start to actually do the work, you start to feel it. And your body's taking on all of that
every day.
So as you grow, you have to realize you're maintaining that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It just, you're going to, or you're going to get fat.
or you're going to get fat 100%.
or you're going to get broke.
Yeah.
And it's a different type of hard. So I like that. I like that you're going to try out Olympia before you
Yeah.
try it out.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Because my thing is this, like before I became pro, I was already, my second marriage. I went to my wife. I said, listen, so here's the deal. Even if before I even tried anything like any orals or anything like that, I always ran it across her.
Yeah.
And the agreement was if any of this changes you psychologically, we're done. Period. I'm like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But man, I was so mentally tough that the stuff people complain about, I'm like, no, you just don't have self-discipline. You just was a grown man.
What were they complaining about?
Just so a lot of guys, and this doesn't make any sense to me, and this is for educational purposes. A lot of guys will run stuff like trend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard of it.
I've heard of trend. Yeah.
Trend is the divorce leading cause for a lot of bodybuilders, 100%.
Yeah.
Because and there's other compounds as well, but trend is the number one because of what it does to you psychologically.
Okay.
Because so if you were a dirtbag off of it,
yeah,
you really are now a monster.
You're an amplified dirtbag.
And think about this: if that many people are messed up, that means they were messed up before they got on.
Yeah. True.
Come on.
True story. So it exposes something you don't want to be given.
I mean, listen, you got to understand that it makes from a now you're trying to listen. This is stories I heard. I had a guy told me at the gym, true story. He said, I'm driving around Arizona, man. I'm looking at the homeless people, talk about sleeping with them. And I said, you don't think just thinking about that. If something can get off.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You're not Ronnie. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. This is not your living. Why do God, and that's the one downfall for us though. We find something we're passionate about, so you would die on it. That's why I said die on something you believe in. That's right, man. You're dying on heroin. You're dying on sleeping with women.
Yeah. You're
dying on being wealth. Like, come on. Make sense of this. You know what I mean?
It's powerful. That's powerful. All right.
Yeah, we're back.
Let's transition out of that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, especially men, they're trying to gain muscle for the wrong reason.
Yes.
And whenever they start to look at steroids or how they can improve, they start looking at the quick and easy. And they don't realize there's still freaking work involved in everything that you're trying. If you're trying to present yourself differently, do it. Yeah. But you don't have to do things that are going to just screw up your life, man. Yeah. And you have to realize that some of that stuff is going to impact you in different ways. And a lot of people just aren't really equipped to do that. So, I'm glad we had the discussion. Yeah. I think a lot of men are looking at it and they're thinking it's magic. It's not.
No.
And I've never done it, but everyone that I know who has come up to me and said, I've had these problems. And the ones that I always hear are sexual problems. They're like, now I have to take a pill to have sex. I'm like, well, dude, but you probably got that inkling. Whenever you had that inkling, why didn't you stop that? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm, 100%.
So like, if you're going to be, I just did a post, got a lot of hate on it, but it's if you're going to do something stupid, be smart about it.
Oh, man, I love that.
Seriously, my uncle used to tell me that. He's like, if you're going to go be stupid, do something smart about it. When I was in command, I'd tell the guys before they went on the long weekend, if you're going to go get drunk, have a designated driver.
Yeah, come on.
Like now you have Uber, but like back in the day, you didn't have
it. Wasn't.
Just come on, man. Just don't be, I don't want the call. You don't want your career ended. Whenever you have that feeling, it's crazy. And that's a whole psychology thing that I like to talk about. But off of that, let's talk about mental health.
Yep.
Mental health has been a part of your life for a couple decades now, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but really, your whole life has been a mental health experiment.
Yes.
And so, because you've gone through the things that you've gone through, has that shaped your decision to go into mental health? Like, why mental health?
Yes. So, oh man, this is crazy. I got into the mental health field because of looking for a job. Now follow me with this one, because when you don't know what your talents are, sometimes these things help expose them, right? So initially I said, okay, I was a bad kid and I know I can relate to these bad kids. So that helped me become, social worker. And social workers in mental health too, if you dig deep enough. And so it was easy to make the transition to get really into mental health. But I never, like the position I'm in now as the head trainer for our suicide 988 crisis hotline, I created that position because we were new.
Yeah.
And I was a coordinator at the time. And I said, listen, I said, I love working with a team, but I said, I want to keep my job. What do you think about this position? One, I'll be at a flourish in it. And then I don't have to worry about getting fired. And my what I love my director. I mean, my boss. And she was like, okay, well, present the idea. I want to hear it. And she liked it, right? And now our organization, we are the only program that has a trainer within the department. My organization has a training department. We have our own training department.
That's good. Training the
And we
trainers.
just hired somebody to do what I do for the Spanish line.
Wow.
So I got into it because I like helping people. And what it allowed me to learn was mental health. So I'm going to tell you some things that you know what, and I stand on this, and I'm not the person that like, oh man, I should have said this to make this person feel good. No, because the Bible says, you speak truth in love. Like if I love you, I'm going to tell you what's right for you, not what you want to hear. There's a lot of things like anxiety and depression that we've normalized that kids will get on this chat and talk about every day. And the reality is this: those things exist in the mind. And if you don't free yourself of the mind, now you're not depressed. You're experiencing depression.
Yeah, you're
It's
not
a difference.
You're not identifying as
Come on.
depressed.
Like right. Like
You're
I'm clinically depressed. No, you've experienced clinical depression. You got to be careful with your words because your words are who you become.
Yeah, say that again.
Your words are who you become.
That's it.
So you got to be very careful of the things you say. And I think there's certain people out there that are smart enough to know that we can push a certain narrative. We don't need to. We don't. In fact, that you don't want to know how I think this is true because the N word back in the day was used to a group of people to identify who they were and where they stood in society in America. But there was a point that came that said we don't need to call them the N-word anymore because we got rap, which we made legal, that they can call themselves the N-word. So now it's autopilot. So you tell me people weren't smart enough to put other things on autopilot? Yes. Just slow down and pay attention. You're literally being fed doo-doo that you think is top course meal, and it's not. But it's like, how do we get people to wake up from that? So when I'm dealing with mental health, I'm like, listen, let's dive into this from like, and what I'm starting is I'm going to take my knowledge of bodybuilding, fitness, nutrition, because I do personal training, I do coaching, and I'm going to combine that in mental health. So I'm going to provide a life coach, men's mental health life coach, and these are the things you're going to get. But I'm going to help you feel comfortable, talk about how you feel and how to get through it, and why what you eat also helps your psyche, and how you think, how you sleep, how you are. It's not just coping skills. It's marrying that with a good diet, with a good workout, with being able to identify, I need, you know what I mean? The who, what, where, when's a house. I'm going to put that together because I said, there's no reason men should be performing how they are. But you know what? At this point, if you can feminize a man, he has nothing. But then if you also can confuse a man, you can make him do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I said, the problem is this: women are outperforming us today. That's only because, and this is nothing about being sexist, because I believe the most feminine woman is the most attractive woman in the world. We don't care how masculine you are. We don't. We're looking for feminine. And the same thing with a woman. She wants a masculine man. She don't want a feminine man. How did society pull its hoax on us to think that we don't need masculine men?
Yeah.
We talk about toxic masculinity, right? Where did this, like, how did we do that? It's because they know that most people aren't leaders.
Well, most people want to be led, yes, for sure. Well, the thing that really gets me is the health organizations calling masculinity a mental disorder. This goes right back.
Oh my goodness.
It goes right back
Talk
into,
about it. Yeah. Dive into that.
where you're at. Like we challenge words like I've been called a Mick. When I was in Hawaii, because I have white skin and I didn't belong on the island, I'd get pulled over a lot. And I experienced racial profiling in that way.
Yeah.
And, those people, they were, I was a Haole.
Yeah.
That's what their
That's what
name was.
yeah.
So they're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So I understand all of the social dynamics that go along with it. But whenever we have organization that has some credibility saying that masculinity is a mental disorder, we have a problem. We have a big problem because people are going to read that and men are going to read that. And men are going to be like, maybe I should be more feminine.
Yeah, it should be more. Yeah.
Maybe I should be more caring. Maybe I should hug people or whatever it is that
Maybe
they
I should
feel.
cry more.
Yeah. I just, I'm not there, dude.
Yeah.
Like my body cries whenever it can't do anything else.
Yes.
And like, if I'm crying, I am broke.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
because I don't cry because I'm crying. And I'm
Yeah.
not a crybaby. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I also don't back down.
Yeah.
You know, if you challenge me
Hey.
or you, me and mine,
Yeah.
forget it. Forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the way I was raised.
Yeah.
Not just in my childhood,
Yeah.
through my life experiences.
Yeah.
So all of the things that we're looking at with masculinity today, they're all pointing back to toxic masculinity, which is a thing.
Yeah.
And that's your bad leaders.
Yeah.
Those are the people that get amplified when they're on
100%.
trend. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where we are in society. There's going to be those people,
100%. Yeah.
but they're a small minority of
Thank
the
you.
people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They're not the majority.
No. Nope.
We need men to work.
Yeah.
We need men to be strong.
Yeah.
We need men to stand up for what's right. We need men to bring faith back.
Yes.
In a lot of these places that it doesn't exist because we have all this feminine energy coming into our spaces that I imagine brings people to your line of work where they're suicidal because they're what else are they going to think?
Right. Listen, here's how bad it is, man. Listen, I don't think people understand. And I can talk about this because this is experience. I'm not telling you what I think or a video I've seen. I work in this. When people are chatting in, the complaints you hear people talking about are absurd because it's like, when did we become a society where no matter how we feel, we just reach out, we don't try to work through it? What you're doing is you're creating this thing called a handicap sticker, and it allows you not to ever work through it because you're going to be relying on people to help you through it all the time. So now when you're really going through something alone, you're done. Because now you victimize yourself. No one's here to support me. No one wants to help me. And now it's even in here. What people fail to realize is this. You understand, if you feminize men, we're still biologically men, but the problem is you allow them to become more of a victim, and that suicide rate will go up. Because now it's like, people don't know the numbers.
Yeah.
More women attempt suicide. More men follow through. Our society is making men feminine, but if more men still commit suicide, the suicide rate's going to fly up. And here's the crazy part about the woman side that people don't know. If more women are becoming more masculine and they commit more suicide, on both sides, they're going to rival each other. No one's talking about that.
Wow.
You know, and these are things I think about, and I'm like, are we really helping people? You know what I do on my chats? We have a whole script on how we do it. You know what I do? I've learned this so much. I've taken more chats than any other coordinator on my leadership team, by far. I've taken way more because I'm the trainer. I wanted to understand this. So I was able to understand exactly what people need support in. And you know what that is? Just being real. Listen, I understand you're going through something. This must be really tough. Yes, show validation. You know, we call a 1, 2, not 3, which is reflect, validate, and you ask and open the question, right? Show that. Show that in your marriage. Show that to people. Make them feel comfortable, but also help them from love. Not this idea that, you know, what you're going through is okay. You're going to get through it, but it's okay. No, it's not okay. Because I know you're great. I know you got greatness in you. This is just the moment. Now let's talk about how we're going to navigate to work through this.
Yeah. And it works probably.
Listen, work. I do it in a way that Vibrant is who we work for, like third party. They don't even pick it up because I'm so far ahead of. I've taken more chats than any of them. I know it's tough. We could talk about that all day, but
no, that's good.
It's tough. Tough.
I got to lay this on you based off of what you just said in the sequence.
Yeah.
The Bible says the meek will inherit the earth.
Yep.
What do you think about that quote?
So the problem with, so it's funny because we've diagnosed that quote alone, people misunderstood. But when I hear that quote and when I think about that quote is this: if you're willing, and Jordan Peterson just comes to mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're willing to go there, and if you're willing to really dive down and then expose yourself, but understand that I got brothers, that I got a body that's going to support me, but that I also know that one, right? For me as a Christian, I can't speak for other people.
Yeah.
I know who wins the war. I may fall down 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But if I'm humble enough to identify and understand what I'm going through, and know that I'm embarrassed, but I'm going to share with you what I'm going through because I trust you. And the hardest thing for me to do is trust because I don't want to be disrespected. But as a brother in Christ, I trust that you're here,
Yeah.
right? That's meek all day, man. And you're going to help pull me out, but I got your back too. That's what we're missing today.
Yeah, I think so. I I think you definitely hit the nail on the head when you said it's twisted. It's not the right way. What I'm seeing a lot of society say is, as a Christian man, you're going to find a woman that has been just thrown around society,
Yeah.
and then you're going to feel an obligation to take care of her.
Yeah.
And because you're a Christian man, you're going to try to save her.
Yeah.
And Captain Save-A-Ho is a losing, role model.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
100%.
whenever you start looking at that, I see society looking at Christian men specifically as weaker men.
Yes.
And then they'll throw the meek shall inherit the earth, and you're just trying to
To be condescending.
Yes.
Here's the thing: when you understand what meek really means, from what I understand, meek really means humble, right?
Yeah.
The meek will inherit the earth. Why do you think the Bible never talks about us being prideful in our abilities?
Yeah.
Because God gives them all to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But what people will do is this. Oh gosh, man, I got to share this with you. This is a little
Do it.
personal. There's some stuff currently right now. It's just some family, indirectly marital family, being married. How the association through. That my wife and I, we stand tall, we're together. But my wife is very family oriented, and she wants to get along with everybody, and I respect it. I love it. I like her heart, but I said, listen, I come from a world where even your family will burn you.
Yes.
And unfortunately, those are the people closest to you that are more jealous of you. It is what it is. But I'm here to show you how to stand on what you believe. And if you feel lonely, I always got your back. I'm always here. So let's take it there so people can respect you as who you are, not who they saw you growing up with.
Yeah.
So I say that to say people will say things when they push your buttons and expect you to respond as if Jesus didn't go in the temple and flip things over.
Yeah.
Like you're this, oh no, but you're supposed to turn the other cheek. You're supposed to be this Christian master. Yeah, but here's what happens, right?
Yeah.
You poke a bear while it's asleep, it might still continue to sleep. But if you keep poking it and disturb its sleep, what do you think's going to happen?
Yeah.
We're human, right?
Yes.
So the thing I like about Christianity is this: I'm trying to become a better person instead of making excuses, right? For
Yes.
my behavior. No, I'm acknowledging, yeah, I could have done better, God. You're right. That's not Christ-like. I put that up to the word, it's not Christ-like.
Yeah.
But people get things twisted like we're supposed to be Teletubbies, sit on our hands, that we're supposed to now because and again, that's why the Islam group is this. I said, no, listen, we're not trying to start war.
No.
We're not. But understand we are people, and I don't see nowhere in the Bible where God's like, just let people treat you however they want.
Yeah.
We got to be wise enough.
Yeah. My favorite Bible verse is
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 3:3.
Yeah.
And it starts off with there's a time for war.
Yeah. Oh man, there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 3 is a time for everything under the sun. The Beatles made it into a song, I believe. I don't know if it's the Beatles, but
Yeah.
and it's a classic song. But the whole thing is, yeah, dude, I'm not gonna sit back and take this. Jesus did flip tables, man.
Yeah.
There was violence all through the Bible. The Bible is the best war study you can read, but
Yeah.
it's also the best study you can read on understanding how to not go to war as well. And that whole word meek, it burns in me.
They've taken the word just like humility. They've taken when secularism has ruined a lot of things. But remember, when you know the truth will set you free.
Yes.
As long as we know the truth, we can see how you try to take something and manipulate it to benefit what you're trying to push, your propaganda, your agenda. But like Jesus, listen, when Jesus was tempted, right?
Yeah.
The devil tried.
He did.
When he was in the wilderness, right?
Yeah.
How you gave him 3 big things? How are you going to give him what's already his? Oh, but you didn't know it was his. Maybe you did know, but you thought there's a possibility that you can catch him slipping. And here's the problem with it. When you know the word so good, it's a rebuttal.
Yeah.
It's autopilot. So when you get people out here like, oh, you're supposed to be this, is that, and that, it's like, no. Meek Mill had on the audacity to put that Meek will inherit the earth arrogantly, like I'm going to. I'm like, yo, you're sliding on thin ice
Right.
because that's completely opposite of what you think it means.
Yeah.
But the world will tell you things like, why are you so hostile?
Mm.
I thought you were a Christian. You're
Uh-huh.
supposed to turn the other cheek. Oh, but you don't believe in that. So why are you telling me things that you don't believe in? Oh, because it's eisegesis, so it fits your net. Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
So you're trying to manipulate me. How about this? I'm going to stand on what I believe. And clearly you're telling me you're very unstable, so I shouldn't take advice from you
Yeah.
because now you're being manipulative.
Yep.
So who's the
What are we doing here?
what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I said, as men, we got to stop being afraid to stand on truth. You're going to ruffle feathers. You're going to lose good relationships
It
that
happens.
you thought were good.
Yeah. Well, they just get exposed.
They just get exposed. It was just a
Yeah.
matter of time,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
It's definitely okay. Well, about 20 minutes ago,
Yeah.
you brought up something. I'm gonna jump back there, and then we're gonna come back
Yeah.
to wrap it up. But you said that people, they knew you at a certain point in your life, and that's the only version of you that they have in their head.
Yeah.
So they don't see the struggles that you went through,
Yeah.
anytime you grow, anything that you've won. They just don't see that.
No.
They see you the way that you want to be,
Yeah.
or they want you to be.
Yep. Yeah.
And if you get past that, it makes them
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you followed it up a little bit later with, those people that are closest to you will be the first ones that will bring you down because of
100%.
jealousy.
100%.
Do you have a story that,
Got thousands of
right?
examples of that.
Yeah.
So, and this is really upsetting, but it's only family I found that, oh, you know what? We're going to go there.
All right.
And I hope this could turn into a clip because I'm going to play it over and over again. People seen my wife in a certain light prior to her getting married. And they took a snapshot and tried to judge her on that when she was married and growing. And because I didn't allow their discouragement or their negative words to discourage her, she kept growing. And I said, don't get upset, right? Because people hate to see you grow, but they want to see you where you are because the person you are is who they loved. They don't like where you're going. You know, they don't like it now. But because you're growing, they say things like, you think you're better than me. And at a certain point, you take a little pride in that. Like, I worked way too hard for me not to think I'm better than the person I used to be.
Yeah.
And that person I used to be is who you love, and I'm not that person anymore. And be fine with that. Stand on that. But there are relatives in our family that are extremely jealous, right? And we've encountered situations. And I said, listen, it's okay. That's fine. But what we're not going to do is conform to where they are to make them feel better.
Yeah. You're not competing against them. You're competing against you.
In relationships, marriages end because some people fight so hard to make everybody happy that they choose the wrong person. They choose family, they choose friends over their partner. And I said, the difference is this. I'm not here to change you at all. I'm here to lead and set an example and show you why God made the hierarchy. It's the Lord, it's my wife, my kids, and it's everybody else. And if you understand what that means, it'll make navigating family that much easier. So then when things line up and I say, see, listen, your mother loves you because that's your mother. Your sister loves you because she's your sister.
Yeah.
Your cousin loves you because they have a reason. I love you because I'm your husband, and I created that reason why I love you. It was given to them. There's a difference.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
It's a choice.
Come on.
Or, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You're committed
And
to
people
your
don't
choice.
understand. You're right. Because some of them said, well, I'm not your sister, but I got to work to be your sister, and it takes this many times. They would have been left you.
Yep.
Mother, Saint, Father, I said, I'm here. I'm standing on this. And I stayed here. Despite whatever I heard about, whatever you've been, but I'm here.
And that's
And guess what? There's nobody that exists that's going to have your back like I do. And I'm willing, when I say war, listen, man, Don't. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like when I say you're my wife and
Yeah.
it's my family, I wish more men stood on that and had pride in their situation instead of being cowards. But it's not their fault because society has made you that way, but it's your responsibility to figure it out.
Mm.
Period.
Yeah.
Weak men don't live.
No.
Your survival of you will die off. That's why this whole movement, I'm not gonna throw the name out there, the alpha, it's not real.
It's not.
And I'm not being mean, but we got to stop making people feel like this false delusion of this is what. No, the only thing that okay, stop saying you're gay. No, you do gay things. You're a human being. Can we start there?
Mm.
Stop saying you're black. Yeah, you are. Race is important. You're a human being.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're all human beings.
And I don't want to, just disclosure, I don't want to confuse like sexual preference with race, but I've seen people both sides victimize themselves. Because I'm black, I can't do that. There's no one black I've seen like that. Or why me? I'm from the, or because I'm gay. Da, 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 da. No, no, you're experiencing this.
Yeah.
Now, your color, embrace your culture.
Yeah.
Understand there's a lot of good in that.
Yeah.
I can't help being black, right? But if people call me the N-word, it will start to make me feel like I don't belong in my skin. No, no, stop. You understand the importance of who you are as a person and being
Yeah.
your name. Figure it out.
Yeah. Figure it out.
Come on.
Yeah.
Figure out why you're in that situation.
Yeah. I mean, you can react or respond, and most people react today
Exactly.
instead of saying, that's your opinion, and carrying on. Or is this going to affect me? Because I really don't care what you think.
Yeah. True. Come on.
I'm glad that you, in
Yeah.
your position, which is not where I want to be,
Yeah.
has an opinion.
Yep.
And that you're going to tell me.
Yeah.
I don't really care, but thank you.
Right. But think about that. Like, think about how you will walk, talk, speak, and be
Yeah.
with that mindset. And I think we have to allow men to see this. And this is probably the most important thing that I can say throughout this entire podcast. It's okay to be a Christian man in today's society. And I'll take this, I'll add on to it. It's okay to be a man.
Yeah.
It's fine. Stop letting people, especially women that are not men, tell you how to be a man. That's or men who are not qualified. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. How are you telling me to be something you've never seen or that you aren't?
Yes.
So when people talk, I'm like, listen, you sure? Because I'm going to tell you not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And when you're going to, who are you to look at my track record? Look at me as a person. Look what I've done. I take care of mine.
Yeah.
Right? All men cheat. I've been married for both marriages over 10-something years. Didn't cheat at all.
Yeah. Me neither.
What do we talk? You get what I'm saying? Like, stop pushing that narrative. All men cheat. No, you're wrong. The men you dealt with cheating. You want to know why you attract these men?
Yeah.
Because the way in which you think, you put off a certain vibration. That's why for me, I attract people that need support mentally, that love bodybuilding, that may need a diet. Something that I do every day, I attract these people. Look, you and I are talking.
Yeah.
Same mindset.
Yeah, obviously.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence.
No, it isn't. And we came together to put this into the world.
Yeah.
Because it's needed.
Yeah.
All right. Last one.
Got you. What's up, man?
If you could give younger you some advice about life in general, what would be top three? What would be the number one or top three things? What would you say?
I can give my younger self advice. What would I say? You are exactly who you think you are. Period. I would also say it's okay to love.
Yeah.
It's all right to love.
All right. Love. What a mushy word.
Yeah. I know, right?
It's 4 letters.
Yeah.
Might as well be a curse word for men today.
Yeah.
Like love. Describe love.
Yeah. So here's why I said that. Here's why it's important to me. When people told, like my coaches and stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're like, hey man, I love you. It was very comfortable and awkward for me to say it back. Didn't understand it. What do you mean you love? It made me feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Very. Because I didn't understand what love meant. I didn't understand that type of love. I didn't understand Christ-like love. I didn't understand it. And then when I understood it, I was like, man, this is why I closed so many doors. I didn't know. And now I'm like, oh. And I said, here's what a lot of men are missing, because they had the same mentality I have.
Yeah.
What do you mean love? Like what? And not understand what it meant. And I said, now let's stop trying to demasculine men and unpack these certain terminologies women use, and that's gonna work in our way. Like women show love through right?
Yeah.
Men actions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What does that look like? Okay, this is what love looks like for men, right? I got your back. We may argue, but no matter what, I'm gonna support you. You need me, call me. If you're going through hell, call me.
Yeah.
I don't need to be on the phone with you for 9 hours, right? Call me. I'm there. I got your back. I'm going to support you.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving. You can't run me away.
I love that. I love that, because it's actions that men need to take.
Yes. Because we're not. Think about it.
Yeah,
We're not taking enough action. And why is that? And it's so messed up, because society, when we take one step, they push us 3 steps back because you're being too masculine.
Yeah.
And then, oh, you're too soft. Wow, look at you. It's like, no, someone was like, men need to cry more. I said, it's not that men need to cry more. They do a lot of crying. You just don't see it.
Yeah.
Men need to understand, I'm in my situation. I'm going to cry a little bit, but I got to dust myself off, get back up.
Go.
Plan of action. So,
dude, this has been awesome.
Thank you.
I'm glad we could do this.
Hey, man, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, Antonio Diaz. Where can people find you?
So I on my Instagram, it's literally the real Antonio Diaz _ADK. Website, same thing. I predominantly use Instagram. Again, my goal is to inspire and empower people to just live and do better in life. And also, I'm heavy in mental health. I'm heavy in the fitness world. So yeah, I'm just out here to just, give my gifts God gave me to other people. So
well, thanks so much, man. You have definitely done that today.
awesome.
And the thousands of ears you're about to hit are going to be so blessed for having you.
Thank you, sir. I
Thank you
appreciate it.
for the in-person studio trip.
It was
and
amazing, man. My
we'll
God.
have to do it
Thank
again,
you so
man.
much.
And that was Antonio Diaz, World Series champion. Todd Stottlemyre's up next. You'll want to miss it. We'll see you there. As an ambassador, you get a special discount for being a listener. Use code ATLAS to get that discount on buckedup.com.